welcome to the Our World Heritage 2021 debate. 2021 debate is a year of events focused on protection, conservation, and management of world heritage. We want to uncover untold stories to broaden our views on heritage practices and future perspectives. Knowledge gathered this year will be published in 2022 on the occasion of the 50th anniversary of the Convention. The Our World Heritage Initiative is created by individuals working on 100% voluntary capacity. We would like to point out that Our World Heritage provides an open dialogue platform that is based on voluntary work of session organizers and speakers. Our World Heritage welcomes diverse viewpoints in the spirit of collegial debate where mutual respect is afforded to all. Please note that the expressed views do not necessarily reflect the official position of Our World Heritage. We thank today's speakers for telling their stories, and we thank you, the listeners, for your kind interest and questions. If you want to remain up to date on our activities, you can follow our social media. We maintain channels in multiple languages to break through the language barriers and connect to local communities. You will find all links on our website, ourworldheritage.org. Thank you for being with us today, and we wish you a very fruitful event.
Hello, everybody. Good night, South Korea. Good morning, Mexico. Good day to everybody in between. Welcome to our 16th and last session of the OWH Sustainability Debate Month. Before we begin, I would like to inform you that we have simultaneous English and Spanish translation, so please make sure to choose the language channel correctly. At the bottom of your screen, you will find the menu where you can select the language accordingly. I will be moderating both in Spanish and English, depending on the speaker, so please bear with me. One recommendation would be to keep the original sound on, so please try it and verify if it works for you. In any case, I will try to announce whenever I'm about to switch language. So I hope I remember to do that throughout the session, so I thank you in advance for your patience. I am Pamela Duran-Diaz from the Technical University of Munich and co-convener of the OWH Sustainability Team. On behalf of the whole team, I would like to thank you for joining us today. Please be aware that this session is being recorded and streamed in our OWH YouTube channel. You can find all the recorded events since the beginning of the year until now. Also remember that you can post your questions to our panelists in the Q&A function and send your comments and greetings to and from all around the world in the chat. So enough of housekeeping. We have prepared a super special session full of surprises for you. Have you ever wondered, what do the new generations think about sustainability? What is their perception on heritage? What are their concerns and fears about the future? More importantly, what are their ideas and recommendations to make the future more livable and hopeful? For the culmination of our OWH Sustainability Debate Month, we decided to turn the tables and give this platform to the youth, for them to speak out and be heard. Throughout July, we have been discussing the results of our very successful global call for case studies that would be the basis for our recommendations to the UNESCO Convention. That is not the only thing we've been doing. We have been waiting until this moment to show you our ace in the hole. We also launched a global survey in 13 different languages to see the perceptions of the youth regarding sustainability and heritage with an overwhelming response. We had 313 young people from all over the world responding to it. For you to get an idea of the profile of the people who answered the survey, 55% were younger than 24 years old, and actually 38% were between 16 and 20 years old. 73% were students, 60% were girls, 38% were boys, 2% were non-binary, And I have to say that unfortunately, we only managed to reach 17% of young people who identify as part of an indigenous or autochthonous community. 42 different countries participated, with a special engagement from Mexico, Argentina, Brazil, Colombia, Peru, Bolivia, Cuba, Paraguay. This shows, of course, the reach of our networks, especially FLACAM's networks, but also the great commitment of Latin America in heritage and sustainability issues since a very young age. We asked if they knew about UNESCO World Heritage List, and 88% were aware of it. We also found out that the new generation is being educated about sustainability in school, stated by 65% of our respondents. But sustainability doesn't seem to be a recurrent topic within families and friends. Some people learn more about it by doing their own research or in social networks than in family conversations. So to those parents watching us today, this is a call of attention. We invite you to engage in talks about the sustainability of our world heritage with your children at home. You know, after one very intensive month discussing about sustainability, we can only wonder, after all, what is sustainability? Is that what the Brundtland report told us 34 years ago? Or is it a dynamic concept? What is the perception of the new generations about this concept? According to the answers of the youth, sustainability means to take care of nature, water, and animals, and to use wisely our resources with a vision of intergenerational equity. We also asked them if they could think of a place that meant a lot to them, to their friends, to their family, and their ancestors, a place they wanted to take care of so that other people in the future could also enjoy it. About half of them could identify a special place, so only 15% could confirm that those places were in the UNESCO World Heritage List. They all recognized an outstanding value related to history, culture, nature, and memory. This means that the identity and sense of belonging should be the basis to protect our heritage, regardless of UNESCO's nomination. Sadly, 77% could recognize that heritage is not sustainably managed. They ranked it from regular to very badly, 77%. Although everything is important, we must align our priorities to the ones of the youth, which are mainly to promote environmental responsibility for the good health of the climate and the planet, and having inclusive approaches in decision-making processes. Finally, we asked them what they would do to sustainably manage heritage if they were in charge of a World Heritage Site. This is the word cloud generated with their most recurrent answers. Some words in different languages stand out: care, protection, education, and compétence in French, culture, history, heritage, sensibiliser, todos, tutti, society, gente, people, community, participation, verde, green, resources, recursos, governance, policies, regulations, redes or networks, activities, actions, respect in different languages, awareness in different languages, divulgação or dissemination. So what our children are trying to tell us is that we should prioritize education, stakeholder engagement, and grassroots movements for the protection of our world heritage and the people, places, and cultures at risk. But wouldn't it be nice to hear directly from them? Actually, we launched a call for videos to select the most inspiring speakers to come to this event today and raise the voice of the youth. Thanks to our heritage heroes for submitting their stories, which you can find in our website and our OWH YouTube channel. We have prepared a packed, fun program based on 3 precepts of educational training: attitude, competence, and skills. These precepts aim to inspire the youth to develop innovative approaches towards our sustainable heritage. With that being said, please welcome our first speaker, Patricia Albert. Patricia Albert has been head of the World Heritage Office of the City of Bamberg since 2013. In this capacity, she oversees the local implementation of the World Heritage Convention and serves as the lead person for all matters relating to the World Heritage Site. Patrizia is a heritage specialist with nearly a decade of experience at the UNESCO World Heritage Center and the UNESCO Regional Bureau in Asia and Pacific. She successfully managed projects in Europe and Asia, including the establishment of the UNESCO ICROM Asia Academy for Heritage Institutes, specialized in the preservation of cultural heritage. Patrizia chairs the International Association of World Heritage Professionals, serves as the expert member of the International Committee in Historic Cities, Towns and Villages, and as a mentor of the Emerging Urban Leaders Program. She holds a bachelor's in international business and a master's in World Heritage Studies from the International Business School in Groningen, Netherlands, at the University of Macau in China, and the Brandenburg University of Technology, Cottbus, Germany. Welcome, Patrizia. It is an honor to have you here today. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Pamela. And congratulations to this very vivid sustainability debate of OWH. Let me quickly upload my presentation. There we go. Well, I'm honored to speak here today, and I'll take the opportunity to present my own story and talk about what options there are for youth in heritage, and also why we need you young people so much in this field that has many, many dimensions and facets. So me personally, I grew up in an old water mill in the south of Germany with a father collecting antiques and running a family company at the same time. And as the oldest sibling, it was up to me to take over the business. So I studied international business, and then I applied for traineeships, but I pretty soon figured out that this kind of money-driven future and profession is not for me. So I stepped back and I applied for other options. And after studying international business, I continued in Cottbus with World Heritage Studies, something that appeared much more appealing to me and to what I expected from the future. And after Cottbus, I was one of the very few lucky ones who got a job at UNESCO. I was many years at the Asia Pacific office in Bangkok, and then also at headquarters in Paris, working for the World Heritage Center. Yet it was an exciting job. I had wonderful colleagues, but I was not so happy with all the limited contract situation. So in the end, I looked for something more permanent, and I landed back in my home region in Bavaria, where I run the World Heritage Department of the city of Bamberg since 2013. And in that position, I can really play the whole multidimensionality of heritage, because the old equation, heritage is conservation or heritage equals tourism, is very obsolete. And I think also on a local level, you very quickly notice how many facets are important when we talk about heritage. It ranges from communication, craftsmanship, digitalization, more and more matters of interpretation, depending on the site you're talking about, material conservation, nature conservation, product management, public participation, research, then very topical sustainability, which is already stated in the World Heritage Convention, with the obligation to convey, to pass on the heritage to the next generation or generations, then urban development, valorization, and many, many other aspects that should not be left out. So a job in the heritage arena can look like this, or just as well like this. This is the opening of our visitor center in 2019. And I think it's important to talk about values also when you talk about World Heritage, because if you are money driven, if you need quick results, maybe the field of World Heritage is not exactly for you, but if any of the values on this sheet resonate with you, then probably the heritage profession is your place to be, is what your heart beats for. Nevertheless, there's some frameworks, some documents that are key. In our case, of course, it's the World Heritage Convention and the operational guidelines that lead us in everything that we are doing, no matter whether it's on the management level or further down. And luckily, there are many options also for young people to get involved with World Heritage, such as youth fora, not only here at our World Heritage, also the World Heritage Committee each year has a youth forum. There are the associate project schools, the UNESCO Schools Network. There are local associations you can get involved, traineeships, UNESCO clubs all over the world. The Organization of World Heritage Cities has regular video competitions, photo competitions. Those are just some very few options how you can get a foot into the door. And this foot in the door is more than welcome, because traditionally the topic of World Heritage attracts people 50 plus, mostly well educated. And that is simply not enough to keep our sites alive. It's not enough also to have support for maintenance, for protection, and also in terms of communication. We saw it on a very simple example when we changed our website for the World Heritage City of Bamberg and used somewhat more, a younger corporate identity. It approached a whole different group of people, and now it's more diverse, the institutions and the people who are collaborating with us, and that's a great advantage. And it's also a great pleasure to really see how people are enthusiastic about their past, about what they can also read in old structures, how they can decipher all the knowledge that's saved there. So I would like to invite everyone to get involved. I'm talking to the people who already have their interest for heritage, but pass the message on and get your friends to also join the fan club, because it's very rewarding to work in heritage, and we really need young people to join hands with the very complex, very giant task to maintain our joint heritage. And at the end, I would like also to point out that the association that's partnering today, the International Association of World Heritage Professionals, we are now more than 10 years old. It's a network of heritage professionals from all over the world. We circulate job opportunities, provide networking opportunities. Currently, we're planning a analog meeting, if the pandemic situation will allow, in Berlin in October. Plus, we give our members visibility by having interviews with them, also showcasing their projects. And you get all those benefits for just 15 euros per year. So if you're interested, please feel free to contact me. And otherwise, just stay faithful to your heritage site, because it's a great family that we are privileged to connect within. And that brings me to the end. Many thanks again for your invitation.
Thank you very much, Patricia. I am sure that many young people felt inspired by your words and would like to now follow your path. Please feel free to share in our chat the website of the International Association of World Heritage Professionals for our attendees to consult it and have more information of it. Thank you so much. I would like to welcome now Elena Stein and Roman Didik. Lena and Roman are the chairs of the UNICEF student group in Munich. UNICEF student group is part of the UNICEF working group in Munich, which consists of several groups and represents the United Nations Children's Fund for the German Committee of UNICEF. Lena is 20 years old and a student of political science who has been active for UNICEF for over 2 years now. And Roman is 24 years old and part of the UNICEF for over 3 years now. So Elena and Roman, thank you for joining us. The floor is yours.
Thank you so much. How exactly do we see the connection of UNICEF to our World Heritage? Well, the both of us have felt a connection to the initiative with the goals to encourage and influence reform to the and to reaffirm the credibility and representation of the World Heritage Convention. We have deeply resonated with the major objectives to integrate effective participation and dialogue, mobilize civil society, and especially to inspire younger generations.
Every child has the right to rest, leisure, to engage in play and recreational activities appropriate to the age of the child and to participate freely in cultural life and the arts. That is the Article 31 of the UN Convention on the Rights of the Child. This article perfectly summarizes why it is of such great importance for us at UNICEF to help children rejoice in the enjoyment of cultural entitlement such as their heritage. Our names are Roman Ziedig and Anna Sophia Stein. We are representatives of the German Committee for UNICEF, heads of the UNICEF Student Group of Munich, and consider ourselves child rights activists. The world we live in is a world in crisis, but the world we live in is not the world we need today. If the last 75 years at UNICEF have shown us one thing, it is that our work is more important than ever, especially in our current global situation, a pandemic, climate change, economic depression, you name it. The cultural and natural heritage of all humanity is endangered. Reflecting and being critical about how we have lived and how we are living now makes it much easier for everyone to find an answer on how we want to live in the future.
For example, the Convention of the Rights of the Child, as of today, is substantively thriving and being celebrated only in theory, but in practice, still lacking behind the ineptitude of political decision makers that withhold the execution of children's rights and closed doors of political bureaucracy. Also, children all over the world face violence that prevents them from fully benefiting from their education and realizing their potential due to bullying, corporal punishment, attacks on schools, sexual harassment, and more, with severe effects on children, their families, and entire communities. Finally, climate change and the resulting impacts threaten our heritage, and especially that of children worldwide. And much worse, because of the climate crisis, we risk losing the progress we have made so far on children's rights, if climate change is leaving no cultural heritage behind in the first place. Nevertheless, we still are not investing enough in solutions, especially for the children who are most affected.
How do we want to live? Especially in connection to UNICEF, a wide variety of answers emerge that reflect not only the core of our work, but also the intrinsic motivation of all the people who pursue the tasks and goals to implement the vision of a world fit for children in their way, in their own way, from local commitment, people to global decision makers. Therefore, our main aspirations are to move into politics, end violence, and act on climate. For us, this journey means seeing children and young people not just as entities over whose heads political decisions are made. Rather, they are visionaries who actively shape our visions and help us bring about change together, not only for them, but also with them. We can redesign our actions in the future, listen to their voices, raise awareness early on, and show that the vision of a world fit for children can become a reality for children, for every child, because our children are our future.
Hence, we have to ask ourselves and seize the opportunity to collectively and collaboratively reflect at this youth forum. What is heritage if not preserved for future generations? What is it that we want to preserve for the youth of tomorrow? Is it wars, famine, inequity, inaccessibility, and acting merely in spite of others and in times of crises only? Or do we actively want to foster an environment filled with hope, perspective, security, kindness, and a celebration of cultural diversity? The cultural heterogeneity that we have altogether assembled for today, we believe, cultivates a plethora of benefits that arise and as such enrich the communities we live in today. And it is equally relevant to consider both significant accomplishments and especially also reflect on past missteps to create awareness of the present and therefore pave the way for growth and improvement.
While we do not have a definitive answer to all the questions, we hope to shine a light on this issue at this youth forum. We definitely do know one thing. In order to preserve heritage for future generations, we need to reimagine as intercultural dialogue and cultural diversity go hand in hand with the rights of the child. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you very much. Thank you for this inspiring message. Our children are the heirs of the wonders and problems that we left behind. Let's take care of them and their future by listening to their voices. And hopefully this youth forum could be a platform to listen to them. I would like to now switch to Spanish because we are, this was a perfect link to the next section. Quisiera presentar a alguien muy especial para mí, un roble de raíces muy fuertes y muy profundas que representa a todo un equipo de personas con una visión y formación humanista. Un equipo que se toma muy en serio la misión de formar seres íntegros, felices y exitosos, capaces de mejorar y trascender. La educación de nuestra juventud es un pilar fundamental en el futuro de nuestro patrimonio natural, cultural e intangible. Hay que hacerlo con sensibilidad, con amor, respeto y con responsabilidad. Quisiera dar la bienvenida a la maestra Gloria Caballero Collado, directora del Centro Educativo Surbal desde hace más de 30 años, que fue mi directora. Querida Gloria, yo he tenido el privilegio de aprender y crecer de la mano tuya y de todo el equipo de Surbal, cobijada por los valores de Surbal. Hoy tengo el honor de compartir este evento contigo y con 3 orgullosos representantes de la filosofía Surbal. En esta sesión ellos representan el precepto de actitud, la toma de conciencia. Gloria, cuéntanos un poquito sobre ellos, por favor.
Muchas gracias, Pam. Quiero empezar pues con la palabra más bella que conozco, esa gracias. Gracias por pensar en ellos, por pensar en los jóvenes, por pensar en los niños, no como receptores, sino como actores importantes de esta tarea que pues nos debería ocupar a todos los seres humanos, pero que evidentemente no hemos sido capaces de abordar en su totalidad, la sustentabilidad. Los felicito por esta tarea que está realizando su organización y agradezco profundamente esta oportunidad. En nuestra escuela, tú lo sabes bien, estamos trabajando desde hace muchos años por el desarrollo de habilidades. El desarrollo de habilidades no solamente físicas e intelectuales, sino también emocionales y espirituales, que nos permitan y que les permitan a nuestros estudiantes no solamente pensar, sentir y hacer lo mejor para ellos, sino que sea de una manera absolutamente equilibrada y también coherente. Esa coherencia que se da solamente a través del desarrollo de esas habilidades. ¿Cómo podríamos tener seres humanos comprometidos con la sustentabilidad si no han desarrollado habilidades como el amor, la generosidad, la conciencia social, la participación activa, la intercolaboración, en fin, estoy hablando de habilidades que son ya del ámbito de los sentimientos y de lo espiritual, ¿no? Pero también desde el punto de vista intelectual, que sean capaces de analizar y de sintetizar y de tomar decisiones. En fin, no quiero entrar en ese tema porque no es el motivo. Quiero agradecer una vez más esta oportunidad de vincular a ti como exalumna de la escuela con quienes hoy están en nuestras aulas y que tuvieron ya la oportunidad de escucharte en un meet and greet que los dejó de verdad muy tocados, muy interesados, porque se vieron en ti y piensan que si tú, exalumna del colegio, estás hoy donde estás, haciendo esto que haces, ¿por qué no ellos también? Por eso estamos aquí y por eso nos sentimos tan agradecidos y tan sorprendidos de esta oportunidad. Bien, yo quisiera, después de este contexto, ¿no? en el que necesitamos, del que necesitamos partir, y me siento muy emocionada, tengo que decirlo, cuando te veo, Pam, allí, organizando y liderando eventos como este. Muy, muy emocionada, muy conmovida y también, por supuesto, muy orgullosa de ti. Y bueno, también me siento muy orgullosa y muy contenta de estar aquí con 3 personajes. Son personajes de muy corta edad, son chicos de segundo de secundaria y uno que va apenas a entrar a la secundaria, ¿no? Voy a empezar por presentar a Sofía García. Ella es una chica extraordinaria, no quiero hablar de ella porque la van a conocer. Ella nos va a abordar el tema de la importancia del patrimonio y el papel que ella siente y piensa que los jóvenes deben de tener en esto. Adelante, Sofía.
Hola a todos los que nos acompañan en esta charla tan interesante e importante como lo es el patrimonio mundial. Mi nombre es Sofía Ailén, vivo en Ciudad Victoria, Tamaulipas, México, estudio en el Centro Educativo Cerval y estoy muy contenta de poder compartir con ustedes mi opinión. Desde mi punto de vista, el significado del patrimonio mundial es la riqueza que el mundo nos ha heredado, tanto natural como cultural, tangible e intangible. Son las herramientas con las que nuestros antepasados vivieron y que ahora nos ayudan a entender una parte importante de quiénes somos, de dónde venimos, nuestra posición en el mundo y cuál es nuestra historia. Además, el patrimonio nos hace comprender mejor el potencial de recursos con los que contamos y en qué podemos llegar a convertirnos. Sin embargo, requiere de una gestión correcta, que haga hincapié en la sostenibilidad, encontrar el justo equilibrio entre sacar provecho del patrimonio de hoy y preservar su riqueza frágil para las generaciones futuras. Haciendo un poco de reflexión, el ser humano se ha destacado por adaptar su entorno a sus necesidades y no él a su entorno, como lo hace la mayoría de las especies, por lo que no estamos siendo compatibles con la naturaleza al explotar los recursos que tenemos, invadiendo lugares en los que antes estaba presente nuestra cultura y acabando con las lenguas indígenas. Pero eso puede cambiar, está en nuestras manos, ya que el mundo no nos necesita, sino nosotros lo necesitamos a él. Con todo ello, aparecen en mi mente varias preocupaciones de lo que estamos viviendo, y lo que se percibe no es nada favorable. Una de ellas es el cambio climático. Lo podemos ver en las estaciones del año. Se está sintiendo frío o calor en épocas no previstas, causado por las emisiones tóxicas que se están generando en diversas partes del mundo. Además, la tala de árboles y la explotación del suelo ocasionan que las capas tectónicas se muevan. Esto pone en riesgo vidas humanas, a la naturaleza y a sitios emblemáticos del patrimonio mundial. Igualmente, al no preservar nuestra herencia, tarde o temprano se va a acabar, por lo que considero que debemos tener más conciencia en que nuestras acciones pueden afectar al mundo entero. Es nuestro deber proteger el patrimonio cultural y natural, ya que nos ayuda a forjar una identidad como nación, logrando así un mejor desarrollo como personas dentro de nuestra sociedad. Debemos tomar acción lo antes posible, de otra manera habrá sido demasiado tarde y los problemas que tenemos hoy aumentarán en el futuro. Existen organizaciones que se encargan de proteger nuestro patrimonio, como la Organización de las Naciones Unidas para la Educación, la Ciencia y la Cultura. el Consejo Internacional de Monumentos y Sitios, el Consejo Internacional de Museos, entre otras. Todas las instituciones encargadas del patrimonio están unidas por el mismo objetivo, por una iniciativa común de salvaguardarlo, protegerlo y conservarlo. Pero nosotros también debemos trabajar para tener un mejor futuro. Para hacer un futuro esperanzador, tenemos que estar comprometidos en tener una mejor calidad de vida, distribuyendo equitativamente los recursos para satisfacer nuestras necesidades básicas, igualdad de oportunidades, ser solidarios con nuestro entorno y con las generaciones futuras. Tomar en cuenta en que debemos preservar los recursos naturales. Por ejemplo, en lugar de dañar con pesticidas las tierras, encontremos cómo innovar la siembra y cosecha de alimentos sin dañar nuestro entorno. Los invito a que tomemos la iniciativa de proteger nuestro patrimonio. Iniciemos con este cambio conociendo lo que tenemos cerca de nosotros, nuestro legado. De esta manera seremos conscientes de la gran riqueza que poseemos y de ahí partimos para cuidarla. Adoptemos el sentido de responsabilidad. Cambiemos nuestros hábitos. Pongamos de nuestra parte, como ahorrar energía, reutilizar, así como concientizar a los demás sobre ello, ya que todos de alguna manera podemos dañar a este planeta en un menor o mayor grado. Entonces, debemos cooperar entre sí, compartiendo conocimientos para la protección del medio ambiente y el alcance del desarrollo sustentable, no olvidando la región más alejada. Podemos preservar nuestro patrimonio al promover el acceso a la cultura y su disfrute. También se podrá enriquecer nuestra sociedad, generando un sentido de pertenencia individual y colectiva, que ayudará a mantener la unión de nuestras comunidades. Para finalizar, les agradezco por su atención. Espero que hayan reflexionado del patrimonio y su importancia. Recuerden que enseñar a cuidar nuestro patrimonio es enseñar a valorar la vida. Gracias.
Muchas gracias, Sofía. Muy orgullosa me siento de ti, de lo que haces, cómo piensas y además la forma que tienes para compartirlo. Gracias. Tenemos ahora un personaje diferente. Es una niña también extraordinaria, distinta. Maki es fuego, lo van a conocer. Ella nos va a presentar su idea acerca de las redes sociales, pero no como las redes inconscientes que se usan de manera mayoritaria, sino de qué manera como esa tendencia y esa habilidad extraordinaria desarrollada por los jóvenes puede ponerse al servicio de la conciencia para proteger nuestro patrimonio. Maki Montalvo, ¿dónde estás? Bienvenida.
Hola a todos, buenos días o tardes, dependiendo del país en el que estén. Mi nombre es Maki Montalvo y soy de Ciudad Victoria, Tamaulipas. Entonces, actualmente todos sabemos que hay muchos problemas en el mundo. Los principales, pobreza, contaminación, cambio climático, etc. Pero hay un problema que también es importante y sin embargo infravalorado por la sociedad, y ese es el daño y descuido a nuestro patrimonio, el cual la mayoría de las veces es causado por la falta de información que tenemos acerca del tema. Entonces, en mi opinión, el concepto de patrimonio varía demasiado dependiendo de la persona y de lo que tú pienses, pero para mí el patrimonio es el conjunto de bienes y paisajes que han ido formando tanto el ser humano como la naturaleza con el paso del tiempo, y que hoy en día forman una parte muy importante de nuestra identidad y también nos pueden ayudar a identificarnos como miembros de nuestra comunidad. Es precisamente por esta misma razón que debemos empezar a preservarlo y crear conciencia, ya que frecuentemente y buscando aceptación en redes sociales, varias personas, tanto adolescentes como adultos, ponen en riesgo la integridad de este. Algunos ejemplos que puedo mencionar al respecto son: número 1, la pirámide de Chichén Itzá y cómo hay personas que no respetan la regla que prohíbe escalarla. Dicha regla fue impuesta en el 2008 ya que los turistas subían y robaban partes de la estructura, también le causaban daño. Y desde su imposición han habido varios casos donde la gente sube para tomarse una selfie y después publicar en redes sociales, o incluso hace unos meses una mujer subió para esparcir las cenizas de su esposo haciendo caso omiso a esta regla. Número 2, hace unos años hubo un caso donde un grupo de activistas de la organización Greenpeace, con la intención de promocionar una de sus campañas de protesta, ingresó ilegalmente a una zona protegida y anduvieron sin ningún tipo de cuidado sobre las líneas de Nazca, de esta manera dañando irreversiblemente cientos de hectáreas. Además, estuvieron muy cerca de El Colibrí, que creo que es la figura que casi todos conocemos de los petroglifos. Número 3, en 2016, un hombre de 24 años subió a la fachada de la estación de Rocío en Lisboa, Portugal, para tomarse una foto con la estatua del rey portugués Don Sebastián I, pero accidentalmente la derribó y esta se rompió en pedazos al tocar el suelo. Y por último, número 4, este es el caso más reciente de hace menos de 2 semanas. Y lo que ocurrió fue que unos ciclistas del grupo Evolution Bikers MTV subieron con todo y bicicletas para tomarse una foto a la pirámide de Tula y causaron daños irreversibles a la estructura. Dicha foto que se tomaron luego sería publicada en Facebook. Los administradores de la página Tula Pueblo Mágico en la misma red social invitaron a la población a no realizar este tipo de actos, que en sus palabras solo sirven para presumir en redes sociales y a su vez para desinformar a los turistas y hacer que ellos también suban, con lo cual estoy totalmente de acuerdo. Y lamentablemente hay muchos casos así similares. Entonces mi propuesta es usar este mismo medio, es decir, las redes sociales, pero a favor difundiendo información acertada y fundamental acerca del tema, para así invitar a la comunidad a defender, cuidar y preservar dichos espacios. Un ejemplo de cómo podemos utilizar este recurso es creando cuentas en las plataformas más utilizadas como Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, etc., haciendo equipo con las personas que tienen mayor alcance de audiencia y con personas especializadas en este tema de la preservación del patrimonio. Otro recurso que podemos utilizar es el arte, ya que desde hace tiempo es y actualmente sigue siendo utilizado para fomentar otras causas y expresarse. Por ejemplo, las canciones del feminismo o las que expresan descontento con la política, y también algunos dibujos que se publican en redes sociales para promocionar el amor propio o también fomentar una serie o una película. Entonces podríamos hacer algo parecido, tal vez con pinturas o esculturas acerca de los paisajes naturales y cómo se vería un mundo sin estos para poder crear conciencia. Ya casi por último, una de las recomendaciones que podemos empezar a difundir como parte de la información son, en primer lugar, informarse de las actividades diarias que pueden afectar el cambio climático y directamente los paisajes naturales, para así comenzar a buscar alternativas que no afecten tanto el medio ambiente. Segundo, por lo general los edificios y áreas que forman parte del patrimonio cuentan con reglas estrictas para poder visitarlos sin dañar, entonces comenzar por seguirlas sería un gran avance. Tercero, hay algunas áreas y edificios que no cuentan con ningún tipo de protección o seguridad directa, sin embargo siguen siendo consideradas nuestro patrimonio. Por lo tanto, si difundimos cuáles son estas áreas, las personas sabrán que es un patrimonio y hay que tener cuidado a pesar de no tener ningún tipo de aviso o advertencia en la zona. Y por último, para los paisajes naturales, por lo general, en mi opinión, es más conveniente limitarnos a observar, pero entiendo que la curiosidad y ganas de admirar que tenemos nosotros los seres humanos pueden ser más grandes. Entonces, si es necesario interactuar, hacerlo por medio de una persona especializada en el tema para no causar daños y sin olvidar que podemos disfrutar de la naturaleza sin dañarla. Después de esto podemos empezar con propuestas más elaboradas, pero por ahora considero más conveniente ir a paso lento, sin embargo significativo, y estoy segura que con estas ideas podemos lograr un cambio importante en la preservación del patrimonio, ya que si no tomamos acción ahora, en un futuro podremos quedarnos sin gran parte de nuestro patrimonio natural y con varios bienes de nuestro patrimonio cultural dañados y vandalizados irremediablemente. Gracias por la atención.
Muchas gracias, Maki. Pues tenemos ya 2 ideas aquí. La participación intensa de los jóvenes que propone Sofi y el uso de las redes sociales. ¿A qué se refiere Maki de una manera tan brillante y sobre todo tan espontánea, ¿no? Por eso me parece extraordinario este foro que les da voz a quienes están, pues están a cargo, ya están a cargo de toda esta responsabilidad que sin duda van a compartir y están compartiendo ya con nosotros. Y bueno, el último personaje que me toca presentar es un chico extraordinario, apenas está terminando la primaria, tiene una gran pasión y está abordando a partir de esa pasión para su ponencia ante todos ustedes. Yo quisiera que viéramos antes un video que nos hablará seguramente un poco más acerca de Adolfo Boeta.
Hola, soy Adolfo Boeta, de Ciudad Victoria, Tamaulipas, al norte de México. Yo soy charro y practico la charrería. Es el deporte que representa a México y representa el trabajo que hacían los ganaderos en el campo siglos atrás.
Este deporte es patrimonio cultural desde el 2016. Para mí, el patrimonio es el legado cultural o material que dejaron nuestros antepasados para preservarlos y protegerlos, además de darle identidad a un país o región. La charrería es un deporte que practico por mi amor hacia los caballos y las ganas por seguir con esta tradición mexicana que se practica desde 1619. En la charrería se demuestra la destreza del charro y del caballo, al azar, jinetear, colear, entre otras faenas. Hoy en día, el número de charros ha disminuido y las nuevas generaciones están en el centro del país. Para impulsar a los jóvenes, yo he decidido seguir practicando, para poder motivar a otras personas a continuar con el amor hacia los caballos, que son hermosos animales, y el gusto de ejercer la charrería. Me gustaría que las autoridades nos apoyaran a los charros, difundiendo por medio de campañas y apoyando torneos infantiles y juveniles, además de promover el arte de la charrería, que es un deporte 100% mexicano. Muchas gracias por su atención y espero que este video les ayude a conocer y a preservar este patrimonio cultural de México.
Y sí, claro que Adolfo tiene mucho que decir acerca de esa pérdida real que está viviendo en lo personal con lo que es su pasión, la charrería, un patrimonio cultural mexicano. Adolfo, ¿estás por ahí? Adolfo Boeta con ustedes.
Hola, soy Adolfo Boeta de Ciudad Victoria, Tamaulipas, y les voy a hablar un poco sobre la charrería, la cual empezó en los ranchos, cuando los charros lazaban y herraban ganado por trabajo, pero también jineteaban y coleaban por diversión. Antes se practicaba en el monte y en los corrales, pero luego se empezaron a construir los lienzos charros y a formarse las asociaciones, que competían todos los domingos en las charreadas, las cuales consisten en 4 equipos que hacen 9 suertes para demostrar sus habilidades, tanto del jinete como del caballo. Era muy practicada principalmente en Jalisco y el Bajío de México. Incluso hubo asociaciones en Estados Unidos, pero últimamente los lienzos están vacíos y no hay mucha gente que la practica actualmente. Y la charrería está disminuyendo poco a poco. Y esto mismo está pasando con el patrimonio de México y del mundo. Y por eso trato de impulsar a más personas de no solamente cuidar y preservar la charrería. Hablo de proteger el patrimonio de todo el mundo, ya sea cultural, natural o material, porque es lo que dejaron nuestros antepasados para cuidarlos. Nosotros tenemos el poder de que no desaparezcan, difundiendo y compartiendo con los demás lo importante que es el patrimonio, haciendo pequeñas acciones para un gran cambio. Y espero que con su ayuda, tanto la charrería como el patrimonio del mundo vuelvan a ser lo que eran antes.
Son las voces de los niños presentes hoy aquí en Our World Heritage, en este foro juvenil, que sin duda va a traer mejores cosas cada día. Muchas gracias, Adolfo. No sé si quisieran hacerse algunas preguntas entre ustedes antes de continuar.
Sí, yo tengo una pregunta para Adolfo. Para ti, ¿por qué es importante preservar la charrería?
Es importante porque es la cultura que nos dejaron para poder seguirla practicando. Y yo lo que quiero es no solamente rescatarla, sino seguir practicándola para dejarla a otras generaciones, como a nuestros hijos o nietos, para impulsarlos a seguirla practicando. Y yo le tengo una pregunta a Maki. ¿Qué mensaje le quiere dar a los jóvenes por medio de las redes sociales?
Bueno, yo quiero dar ese mensaje que comencemos a cuidar y a preservar nuestro patrimonio, ya que como comenté, si no tomamos acción ahora, pues en un futuro ya sería muy tarde. Entonces, pues ahorita, como ha mencionado, somos el futuro del país y del mundo, entonces, pues es necesario que nosotros también comencemos a tomar conciencia para que en un futuro podamos resolver estos problemas que tenemos. Y yo tengo una pregunta para Sofía, y es ¿qué es el patrimonio para ti y qué mensaje le quieres dar a los adultos y a los jóvenes con tu discurso?
Para mí el patrimonio es lo que el mundo nos ha heredado, son las herramientas con las que nuestros antepasados contaron y que supieron aprovechar para seguir adelante. El mensaje que les quiero transmitir es que todos podemos opinar y lo que pensamos también cuenta, ya que juntos formamos a nuestra sociedad y podemos aportar soluciones sin importar la edad.
me encanta la posibilidad que tienen ellos de hacer escuchar sus voces aquí. Primero porque estoy segura de que se sienten bien haciéndolo, de que necesitan hacerlo, pero también porque nos permiten a los jóvenes que son un poco mayores que ellos, como a quienes acabamos de escuchar, o las personas que como tú, Pam, están ahorita a cargo ya de organizaciones tan importantes, puedan incluirlos en su trabajo, incluirlos en sus tomas de decisiones, pero sobre todo en la tarea cotidiana de estar trabajando por el futuro de todos. Yo te decía hace unos días, me siento feliz de esta oportunidad porque me permite darme cuenta de que esta tarea que realizamos muchas escuelas en el mundo, estoy segura, de estar desarrollando habilidades no solamente intelectuales y físicas, sino más allá en las emociones y en la espiritualidad de los muchachos, es para que tengan la capacidad transformadora que necesitamos que tengan las próximas generaciones. Muchas gracias por esta oportunidad una vez más. Niños hermosos, muchas gracias a los tres. Han hecho un gran trabajo. Pam, gracias.
Muchísimas gracias, Gloria. De verdad, mi gratitud es para ti. Gracias por esta maravillosa intervención. Gracias por esta loable labor que estás haciendo tú con todo el equipo de Surval. A los niños, Sofía, Adolfo, Maki, muchas gracias por sus ideas frescas y sensibles para proteger nuestro patrimonio. Quiero decirles que me siento muy, muy orgullosa de ustedes. Ahora voy a hablar en inglés para que elijan adecuadamente el canal, por favor.
Gracias.
Look, holistically, put children at the center. They will know how to apply the wisdom to their day. This was one of the main takeaways of our Indigenous Forum at the beginning of the month. From the awareness to the action, making use of all the acquired knowledge and the skills, this should be competence. For this section, I would like to yield the floor to my co-moderator and reporter of the session, Mued Ahmed. Mued is a dynamic and proactive architect from India. He's currently in Munich, enrolled in the master's program in land management and geospatial science at the Technical University of Munich. He's engaged in many other initiatives like UNICEF, Students for Future, Fantaseed, which you will get to learn a bit more today, and of course, OWH. Thanks for the support, Mued. I hand the moderation over to you.
Thank you so much, Pamela, for the brief introduction, and a very good evening to one and all present here. Since the beginning of the event, we have heard a lot about visions, awareness, voices, communities, preserving cultural dialogues, natural heritage, and of course, voices across the globe and people of different age groups. But now we also will talk about what happens further when we talk about more competent section of this event. And I am very excited to invite the young sustainability enthusiasts for our next session related to competence. And yeah, starting with our first speaker, I would like to welcome Ms. Sobeen Cho. And Sobeen is a young heritage professional with a special interest in World Heritage education.
We might be having some problems, some connection problems. I don't know if I am the only one who cannot hear Mued.
No, no lo estamos escuchando, Pamela. Alguna pequeña dificultad, me parece, de último momento.
Yes, I think this is
global citizenship education teacher for supporter. Okay. Also volunteered for as a youth supporter of World Federation of United Nations Association in 2018. And she's now a project consultant of the preparatory office for the International Center for the Interpretation and Presentation of World Heritage Sites under UNESCO. So I think she has a lot to share about her experience. And yeah, the floor is yours, Subin.
Well, thank you for introducing me, and it is a great honor for me to have this opportunity to share my opinions based on my experience today. And let me share my presentation screen. Well, once again, a pleasure to meet you all, and it is a great honor for me to meet you all today. I hope you're all doing great wherever you're joining the session. And as Murat introduced me, I am Subin Cho, and I'm a project consultant of the Preparatory Office for WIPIC, the Preparatory Office for the International Center for the Interpretation and Presentation of World Heritage Sites under the auspices of UNESCO. And I genuinely appreciate the Our World Heritage Sustainability team for the opportunity to have this chance to share my opinions and ideas based on my experience as a young heritage professional. Well, the title given for my presentation is the role of young heritage professionals. So I'll be talking about the concerns of the future of World Heritage as a young heritage professional and what is needed for solving the issues we are facing now and what we will be facing in the future. Well, before I start my presentation, please make sure that this is based on my personal as a young heritage professional. And thank you, Hyunji, Shiwon, and Sarah for sharing your opinions on the topic of young heritage professionals. Well, there are too many issues our World Heritage is facing, as you presentations have already seen from the other sessions of our OWH Sustainability Team's session. Well, those are the issues that we should be concerned for our sustainable future, such as climate crisis that we are experiencing as consequences of it recently, discrimination and conflicts that were in the past and what is still ongoing in the present, and the ongoing debate between development and conservation, and so many more. So some of these issues are the problems that we must solve of people and creatures affected by this. Well, the other is the issues that are constantly being discussed in the field of World Heritage, but the issues that do not have one correct answer. So all those issues are significant that human beings should take care of. And I suppose that at the center of those issues, there is a lack of true communication. Well, people these days are all connected online through digital media and the internet. However, they do not have proper communication to understand each other. They are historical backgrounds. So this lack of proper communication can worsen the problems the world is facing. And that is why our future as World Heritage can promote the true communications between communities, countries, races, generations, and many different stakeholders, and help them understand and respect the difference between them. World Heritage is embedding the history, culture, and lifestyle and so many different aspects of the community who made it or who's living with it. By understanding this, people can learn that they should respect the difference with communities they're not involved in. So they realize the significance of cultural diversity and the significance of intercultural dialogues through World Heritage. Then how should we, young heritage professionals and World Heritage professionals, heritage and promote the public's proper communication through heritage? Well, I'll say that as young heritage professionals, we should support people having their own experience with World Heritage and should remove barriers to heritage for all and help people have, and have active interdisciplinary communication? Well, firstly, connecting people and heritage is the primary duty of heritage professionals. But the point is how. Just as Premokyodan said, not instruction, but provocation in his book, Interpreting Our Heritage. Young heritage professionals and heritage professionals should support people to experience, feel, and then realize the significance of world heritage by themselves. We must not force them to understand the outstanding value of world heritage, but instead we should evoke people's genuine desire to understand, a genuine desire for intercultural dialogue by offering them accurate information and interesting heritage programs. Well, when people make their own experience and their own story with world heritage, there will be a better understanding of cultures and the significance of world heritage. Therefore, we should become a bridge connecting people and world heritage by supporting them in creating their own experiences and their own story on heritage. Young heritage professionals might actually actively contribute to this by creating various types of content nourishing the public's heritage experiences. And secondly, still there are a high number of barriers people experience on their way toward heritage. Well, indeed, there's a lack of physical infrastructure supporting people's accessibility to heritage sites, especially for people with mobility impairments or tangible barriers people experience when they want to learn or study about world heritage. Quite a large number of people are experiencing or still we all know that it is not a property of a specific group of people with more money or more knowledge. And additionally, technologies, young children and people of our parents' age are facing another difficulty in their access to heritage information due to challenges in using digital devices. And last but not least, of course, young heritage professionals should have active interdisciplinary communication. We should communicate with people outside the group we are involved in, outside the field we are familiar with. Academically, the areas are all divided into different names. However, as all of us may know, every field is highly interconnected in the real world. So we can also find out that when we take a look at the 17 UN Sustainable Development Goals, no single goal can be achieved without improving the situations of other goals. So there must be an active interdisciplinary interchange of the information and knowledge for the sustainability of our heritage. By communicating with experts in diverse fields, with specialists from different organizations, and with students and professors of other universities. Heritage professionals that all of us may already know. However, I wanted all to think about those significant and obvious duties we should take in the field, at least once again through listening to my presentation, because we easily forget about those obvious things. Yeah, that's all for my presentation.
Thank you so much, Subin, for the wonderful presentation. So our next speaker is Ms. Pratibha Devdas from India, who is extremely passionate about heritage culture and art. Also a student at the Technical University of Munich. She's studying Masters in Sustainable Resource Management and working part-time with German Strategic Consultancy. Her research work and collaboration with the university group TU Empower Africa as the site assistant and now project manager has taken her to Bugarisa in Rwanda. There she works directly with farmers to foster sustainable development of communities in Africa through renewable energy. Moreover, she has 7+ years of work experience as project leader in implementing social sustainability projects across India. She'll share her significant experience and ideas about fostering sustainable development in Rwanda. Pratibha, kindly take over.
Thank you, Mohit. So I will begin with sharing my screen. Good day and good morning and good evening to everyone who's here. So I'm Pratibha. I'm here.
Pratibha, sorry to interrupt you, but we cannot see your screen. It's so black.
Let me share again. Can you see now?
Not yet. Can anybody else see it? I can only see a black screen.
Because I have shared the entire screen.
No la vemos, Pamela. Quizás podemos cambiar el orden de la secuencia y que te la envíe a ti por correo electrónico.
I'm opening your presentation. I have it at hand. So just give me 1 second and I will share the screen for you.
Okay. Maybe I try once. If it's not working, then I stop it. I hope it's still not live.
It's still not working. I will share. Just let me know when to switch to the next slide.
Okay. Okay. So thank you, Pamela, for doing this, and good day, everyone. So I'm here to discuss or share my experience about fostering sustainable development in rural Rwanda. So I'm currently in Rwanda in Bugesera district, working with farmers in a small village where they don't have access to even clean drinking water. So before I get into the topic, some introduction about what we do. Next slide. So at TU Empower Africa, what we do is we work with African rural communities, so where they don't have access to any basic amenities. So we want to bring a sustainable development to them. And we use renewable resources as a main source, like with energy, we try to bring them water, and with them, we want to help them get a good food or grow their own food and then change their life. So this is what our mission of TU Empower Africa. And we do this with, next slide. So our idea here at every place where we work is to have a decentralized energy, water, and food system, like I said. So how we want to bring energy to those rural communities is to bring solar panels, which is renewable energies. And with that, we have solar powered water pumps, which draws water. And with that, they can change their irrigation system and have a good agriculture. So they don't have to worry about carrying water in cans, or they have to walk long distances to carry like 5 or 10 liters of water every few hours for their daily needs. So next slide, Pamela. So this is our idea. So when I talk of sustainable development, so here, especially in Africa, people are not as well informed as we are in outside world. So most of the African communities, they don't have access to basic electricity. They don't have access to what's happening outside world. For example, just to share an idea, if you take out your mobile phone outside, they would run away from you.
they think you have some monster in your hand, that they are scared of it and they will run away. So to those people, the first thing we want to give them is energy. So with energy, they have access to water, and then they grow their own food, like I said, and they sell them, and then their life is improved. So how we do it is, like, we as a TU Empower Africa and NGO, we provide them with the basic system, and then we monitor the whole system until it works sufficiently fine. And we will be there throughout to see how they understand the system, how well they take care of the whole system that we set up there. When I talk of system here, it's renewable energies with the water pump, and then how it is allotted to the agriculture land that they have. So what is special? This is our general idea of TU Empower Africa. But can we just take a one solution to all the countries we work with? No. Each community is different, and each country is different, and they all have their own culture, and they have their own hesitations, the landscape, and their past, and their current government. So many things influences what and how they can change their life from their sufferings that they have at the current stage. So here, their culture and heritage is something that we have to also take into consideration when we think of a solution. It should be a very context specific. It should be very location specific. It cannot be one solution that fits for all. This is our general idea, but we work differently at each and every location that we have. So the next slide. So currently, this is just an idea for you to know where we are present. We have an ongoing project in Zimbabwe, and then I am currently in Rwanda doing these projects, and we are planning to have projects in other locations as well. Next slide. So when I talk of Rwanda, it's a very small East African country. It is, like, I would say, as small as maybe southern Germany, or like very small Latin American country, or in Asia, if you say, it's smaller than Sri Lanka, size of Sri Lanka. So 12 million people live in this country, but majority of the population is in one province, which is Kigali. So 83% of the whole country lives in rural areas. So here, the electricity is not available for most of the people, except for the people who are living in Rwanda. So when I talk of Rwanda, there are many things that I would want you all to know about it. It's a very small country. So when we see in the next slide, can you go to the next slide, please? So this is how the landscape is. The entire country, you go anywhere, you just see hills, nothing else. So the people have to, the valley that you see, that's where they can find water. So people live on top of the mountain. Sometimes they have to just walk down, carry water by hands to the top of the hill, even for drinking or for cooking or for any personal use. So their way of life here is very difficult. Not whole country is not electrified. And they also had a bad past, which is, I'll just quickly go to the next slide, and then I would ask Dr. Duran to change it. So this is a disturbing image, what you saw now, because in 1994, the entire country suffered from genocide, where most of the Tutsi people and some of the Hutu people were killed because of the genocide. The completely everything, they lost their heritage, they lost their culture, they lost everything in 1994. In 1994, the country lost its own identity because of the genocide that happened, and around 5 to 8 million people were killed throughout the country. So in the month of April until July, they have very how do I put it, like, they are in a very sad state. It is not even 25 years that they have seen such incidents in their life. Still people live and talk about it. So from that, they have moved forwarded. There's a very drastic change in the country. This country is called Singapore of Africa, where they don't use a single-use plastics anymore. They keep the whole country so clean. You will be amazed to see that such country exists in Africa. But the same country has such plight where people have to walk down to the swamp and they take water. You can see the yellow cans. That's what they use to carry water to their home. And that's the water they drink, which is brown in color. That's the home they live in, where there is no access to electricity. The bricks are not even burnt if it cannot withstand more than 2 or 3 years, because they don't have someone from the past to tell them how they lived. They don't have someone to tell them what is important and how they have lived in the past. They don't have a past because 1994 have made them lose everything from their life. So next slide, please. So here we chose a village named Jitaraga, where there are a group of farmers who are interested in working with us. We chose a 7 hectares of land. The land is located on a slope. It is very difficult for them to irrigate the land because it is a rain-fed agriculture. So they don't have electricity, they don't have water. So they have to walk down the swamp, carry the water, and irrigate their land. For few months of the year, they don't irrigate their land due to lack of rainfall. So to avoid that, we contacted the people, we made the farmers come together, we met with them, we told them how they can improve their life sustainably without losing what they are having at the moment. So we conducted a baseline survey to understand how their lifestyle is currently. Sometimes some answers was really difficult for us to take it, where people said they have to wait for the rain to have some water. Some people are really old, they don't have any family, so they ask someone to help them to bring water. So we are going to give them a system where they are going to have a good electricity for the farm, and with that they will take water and then they will irrigate their land. And we are also trying to find, the farmers are very happy about our project. They wanted to come together. They are already, I'm here since March, and they are already working together. They formed a cooperative. We are talking in discussion with the government. The government has approved to work with our NGO, and we will be starting the project. Already we have started the project, but because of COVID, it is put on hold. COVID is a reason for the past 1 or 2 years where we have not been able to progress much. So this is how we have worked with the farmers. And what I wanted to say here is, to come up with any solution to have a good sustainable development for the rural communities or for anyone across the world, to take into consideration of the local people, what they like and what they don't like, what they have some information from the past, what knowledge they have gained from their past, and what they can share it to the future. So without losing their identity, we want to give them a solution. So we conduct multiple sessions with them to discuss with them what they like, what they don't like, how would they want their project to go forward. Next slide. So this is one of the slide where I wanted to show, where with our translator, there are many people who have, they are not literate, they are not even in primary education. So we have to create a storyboard for them to make them understand, okay, what are solar panels, how was your life now, and how will your life change after you having a panels. First we show them a list of a storyboard, and we ask them what do they understand. We see their understanding, and based on that we change the storyboard in such a way they understand it really well, and then we foster the solution that we have for them. They're happy about it, and they look forward every day to see what we are coming with. So the next slide. so this is what we have planned so far. This is just an example of the storyboard in the left that you see is what we have shown them. So we would be installing a water energy food system, and with the we monitor for a year to see how it's going to go, and then we will expand the project to more farms. And with the we have also asked for some kind of repayment for monitoring and for maintenance and operation of the system that we have given them. And with that, we want to give them some food processing unit. With that, they can improve their income. And we will also introduce agroforestry into this project, because before 1994, the whole of the country had 43% forest cover. Now it's only 15%. So we want to help and mitigate that issue as well. And we want to create more business for them. And finally, we want to come out of the community and give them responsibility to the local cooperatives to take care of the system. So this is how we are trying to foster the sustainable development in rural Rwanda, the case that I'm currently working. And I'm happy that I was given a chance today to share it here. Thank you, Dr. Duran. And
thank you so much, Pratibha, for sharing your wonderful experience. We will have question and answer session right after our next speaker also. So before we proceed now, I would like to invite my dear friend, Veronica Becker, also from the Technical University of Munich. She comes from a bachelor's background in geology, being inquisitive about the consequences of human impact on our ecosystems and nature in general. Currently pursuing her master's in environmental engineering, she wanted to use her voice and knowledge to create more options for sustainable life on Earth. In her master's, she's focusing on the water energy food nexus in combination with hydrogeology, groundwater, and geothermal energy. Apart from that, she is the founder of the Plant a Seed project, building the first sustainable living lab for urban farming. Since I'm also the part of her team and initiative, I have seen her taking this project to greater heights and lengths. Veronica, please share your experiences with our audience.
Hi, good day, everyone. First of all, can you see my screen and presentation? Yes, thank you. Well, thank you so much, Moed, for that lovely introduction. I'm incredibly excited and super honored to have the opportunity to speak today, especially among so many enthusiastic young people. I have to say, I'm truly so inspired by all the passion coming from so many different and especially such young people. So yeah, just thank you for sharing all that with us. I think sharing our passion and energy is so underestimated and so incredibly important to stay motivated when fighting for such big visions. So yeah, just wanted to say that before I start with my actual presentation. As already mentioned, my name is Veronica. I'm a master's student in environmental engineering at the Technical University of Munich. And I have the pleasure to introduce Plant a Seed to you. You will hopefully notice soon that Plant a Seed is not just a project, to me or to my fellow students. It is a project that we have found with this project, we have found our mission and actual opportunity to really make a change and contribute to protecting our natural heritage, at least in Munich for now. Within the last year, Plant a Seed has created a wave of enthusiasm for sustainable topics, and I think mainly because due to the fact that many practical Plant a Seed offers so many practical and interactive learning opportunities for students from all different fields. Before maybe I should start first of all with what Plant a Seed actually is. So Plant a Seed is a pilot project to experience sustainability on campus. We are literally transferring our campus into a sustainable living lab by establishing campus gardens that connect the sectors water, energy, and food. And we're planning to create a circular economy within the university. And you might have noticed we also have a greater purpose, especially raising awareness around sustainable consumption and production, the importance of green spaces in cities for our human health, but also for conservation of biodiversity, microclimate mitigation, and food sovereignty. Who are we? Well, our team now consists of over 80 super highly motivated students across all different fields. We're collaborating with the Sustainability Office of TUM and the Center of Land, Water, and Environmental Risk Management. And there's also a growing number of chairs that are supporting the project. Why are we doing this? Well, from a student perspective, I was honestly a bit tired of developing amazing, sustainable theoretical concepts in different lectures, but never actually really transforming them. So with this project, I wanted to create something that gives students the opportunity to really do hands-on and use the knowledge that we have obtained in lectures to establish practical measures for sustainability. And how are we trying to transform that? Well, we're using our campus as a sustainable living lab, as I already mentioned, and we're doing that by uniting the human resources of TUM, which are consisting of the students and staff, with the study expertise of different fields. And we have created an incredible, strong, and really interdisciplinary team. To give this whole project a solid scientific base, students are doing the bachelor and master thesis with Plant a Seed and realizing the potential of sustainability concepts and integrate them into our urban environment. And as a cool side effect, we have created an amazing community that really thrives to make a change. When we're talking about protecting our environment and our natural heritage, sustainable consumption and production is one of the key factors, right? So many of our long-term goals are tackling different aspects from the Sustainability Development Goals of the United Nations. Due to time constraints, I will only focus on the 3 of our 7 SDGs that we can tackle with Plant a Seed. And here you can see that we're tackling responsible consumption and production, SDG 12, because with Plant a Seed, we're aiming to create a social movement that spreads the idea of a bottom-up change by establishing campus garden initiatives throughout Germany, but also beyond. We previously heard about how important, let's say, the right values are in the heritage field. With our social movement, we want to change existing values towards a more sustainable consumption and production. Here, we really target responsible and circular production while considering the water, energy, food nexus approach. And at Plant a Seed, we're doing that, for example, by building our raised beds with natural renewable resources only. We're trying different concepts for our raised beds, which also includes using or reusing old pellets to reduce waste. And creating little ecosystems in the within the raised beds. For the cultivation of our plants, we are using the principles of permaculture and also avoiding all kinds of harmful chemicals or synthetic fertilizers. In our gardens, everything is organic. Another very important point in protecting our natural heritage is the conservation of biodiversity. The progressive urbanization threatens natural habitats on literally all levels. And with our gardens, we're not only planting vegetables of different kinds, but also local flowers to create a habitat for insects and other species in the middle of a densely sealed city. Everything we have learned, we want to share. Therefore, we are working on establishing several workshops from students, for students, but also for others. Everyone who's interested in that topic. Some examples are workshops on how to establish cultivation plans for your personal use, but also long-term for wide urban areas. This way, we hope to literally connect people with their roots and hopefully inspire many others to follow our example. Protecting our natural heritage also goes along with the preservation of crop diversity. By growing historic species of vegetables, we want to raise awareness around the preservation of the many different crops we have. Here it's also important, for the conservation of biodiversity. Again, everything we learn, we want to share with others in the form of different kind of workshops. Our idea is to inspire so many others to follow that we can green this entire city and long-term all cities around the globe, obviously with adaptations to local circumstances. Keep in mind that small gardens can add up across the city and decrease sealed surfaces, which helps, in return to reduce flood mitigation or to help flood mitigation. And it also leads to positive effects on microclimate. And I would like to close my mini presentation with one of my favorite quotes from Gandhi: to forget how to dig the earth and to tend the soil is to forget ourselves. I deeply hope that I was able to, inspire you to start digging and get in contact with your own roots. Thank you so much for having me today.
Thank you so much, Veronica. Well, after all these presentations, I think we could clearly say without a shadow of doubt that we are not only talking about sustainability, but there are a lot of really good and learning practices happening across the globe. And it's clearly evident from Pratibha's, Veronica's, and Sobin's presentation, and all coming from the others. And how important it is to understand the context of the people, their lifestyle and culture, and how sustainability is deeply and directly related to that. So that understanding is very important. Next, I would say we can have some questions also. There was a question in chat. The question to Pratibha: in the process, starting with water, energy, food system, how does heritage protection come into your work at what stage?
Thank you, Mohit, and thanks for the question. So I would like to answer one thing before that. There was a link that was sent about, there's a tentative list as well about the UNESCO World Heritage Site in Rwanda. And those sites are all genocide memorial, which is 25 years old, where, which talks about their past, but a very sad past, but people still want to make it as a heritage site. But of course, they don't want to ignore it. They don't want to say, no, it's not ours. That is our past and we will accept it. But what we will do is we will forgive and we have moved forward from there. That's what people say, because the killer's family and the family who is living there, they live next to each other. They have forgiven each other. That's how they move forward. So to answer a question like, where are you planning to integrate with the water, energy, food system? So they don't have, there is not a cultural heritage that I can think of here. All that I think of is only a natural heritage, and then involving women and youth. Once after the agriculture system kicks off, trying to talk to the old people and see their indigenous knowledge, if we can collect their indigenous knowledge and how we can incorporate into their sustainability. The traditional knowledge is something that's missing all over the world in general, because traditional knowledge will help people to hold on to the intangible heritage of across the world. So something related to agriculture, there are many heritage sites and there are many practices that's across the world. Here we have to go dig deep into it and find the old people who can give us answers about what practices they had about 70, 80 years before. But we don't have any record. We don't have anything that's recorded before 1990s, because everything is stone. They have lost everything as a part of the genocide. So it is going to be difficult here, but we will try everything in our side to incorporate the heritage. and learn from the people who are alive and who can share their knowledge. And mostly it's going to be indigenous knowledge and involving women and youth.
Thank you for the brief response. I would also like you guys to answer that how this message should be forwarded to the coming young generation, like the children, and how, I mean, every one of us knows that there are a lot of conflicts, challenges related to awareness and understanding of these things. So what message could be forwarded to the children about this? Anyone would like to volunteer? Yeah, please, Ege, if you want to say something.
I don't know if I have the right now. I'm hacking the panel. I'm supposed to just be an observer. Sorry, but just to help out, maybe, children and older people, they are very close. I mean, in the sustainability policy debate, they're often seen together as vulnerable groups, but I mean, they have this common trait of having a lot of value in terms of what we talk about, heritage, sustainability. So I think sometimes all you have to do is put them together, and then this organic, natural interaction starts. And I think we see these not only in more traditional societies, but also in more industrialized, developed countries, where older people take care of the younger generation, which helps all around social well-being. So maybe we just need to, as Pratibha said, dig deeper and just look what we have there and creatively use what there is existing there. So, but you're right, all the older people, I wonder how many older people are left in Rwanda. And I wonder, I mean, this is very, very inspiring, and it makes one ask a lot of questions about what do you mean by losing everything? How far can a country lose everything? I think the children will find out. The children will be the solution to this question as well. These are just a few thoughts that just came out, but hopefully it helps. Thank you very much.
I definitely agree. Do we have any other questions, or we can go ahead with the event?
I just want to add a comment to Dr. Egg, what she said. How far they have lost is, imagine the worst. So they are burnt, they are killed alive, the children are shot. So it's so worse.
What about archives? What about the information?
Everything is lost. Everything is lost. I can, if I have to tell you for an example, like I need a climate data, historical climate data. Even they are destroyed. So it's that bad. So maybe a small, I mean, yeah, words are very short to explain what these people have really faced here. So, yeah.
Thank you very much, Pratibha. I think maybe the perspective is to rebuild from what we have. Moet, do you mind if I take over the moderation from here?
Please, thank you.
So thank you, Subin, Pratibha, Veronica, for making a change. We had the chance to see through your presentations how a change of attitude and a bit of competences are the perfect ingredients to make a positive impact. Subin, it has been a pleasure to meet you and see your passion for heritage. It is inspiring. Pratibha and Veronica, we have been working together for a while already. There are no words to express my admiration, your commitment, your strength, and for opening the bridge for others to follow. Thank you, Moet, for the great moderation. I would like to take the message shared by Ege Childirim in the chat. Science policy interface meets youth as a glue. Energy of human resources, young mind. And she put this formula over there: uni plus youth plus study plus practice. And I loved it that she put it as a formula because we're all connected. And with intergenerational equity in mind, I would like to open the third and last section of this session, skills. I would like to begin with a trailer of a short film by Danilo Siqueira from Brazil. Danilo is a director, screenwriter, producer, photographer, art director, and editor. He has a bachelor's in social communication and advertising and propaganda. He worked for over 15 years as an art director and advertising agencies in Belo Horizonte, Sao Paulo, and Brasilia. He studied film cinema at the International Film Academy, has a master's in film direction from Spain. And actually his films have been selected and awarded in Brazil and abroad. He received, for example, awards for Best Documentary and at international festivals in Iran and Rwanda, in Romania. He was in the official selection in Spain, Mexico, India, and Brazil with the documentary Minas Davos. He got also the award for Best Direction, Best Photography, Best Fiction Short Film in Romania and Iran with Lana Iladosha. So without any introduction, I would just like to share my screen for you to see the trailer.
O Brasil possui uma única cordilheira, que corta o estado de Minas Gerais de norte ao centro, chamada Serra do Espinhaço, importante patrimônio de Minas Gerais e declarada Reserva Mundial da Biosfera. A Serra do Espinhaço se abre em uma deslumbrante cadeia de montanhas, que é comumente chamada de quadrilátero ferrífero. Já os ambientalistas, entretanto, a denominam quadrilátero aquífero, devido à sua incrível capacidade de absorver e armazenar, nessa imensa caixa d'água de ferro, uma riqueza de gigantescos mananciais que são divisores de águas das principais bacias mineiras importantes para o Brasil, como a do Rio Doce e o Rio São Francisco, por exemplo. Atravessando essa serra, a Estrada Real, por onde eram escoados o ouro, pedras preciosas e todos os minérios do Brasil para a Europa, no período colonial, essa rota é hoje uma das principais atrações turísticas de Minas Gerais. Com mais de 1.600 quilômetros de extensão, a Estrada Real tem grande importância histórica para o Brasil. Resgata a cultura e a memória de nosso passado em suas montanhas e nas arquiteturas coloniais dos municípios por onde passa até o litoral. Rodeadas por serras, morros, rios e cachoeiras, o Cerro, município localizado na Serra do Espinhaço e no início da Estrada Real, é hoje um grande polo de turismo ecológico, cultural e histórico. Um povo que ainda mantém suas tradições vivas, suas festas coloridas e suas riquezas naturais preservadas. Mas a região tem sido alvo de muita ganância e cobiça de mineradoras. Caso se instale projetos de exploração no território do Cerro, pode ser extinta toda essa riqueza ambiental e cultural em poucos anos.
O horizonte geológico, onde está o minério de ferro, é também o aquífero. Se eu vou lá e extraio o minério de ferro, eu destruo a camada onde a água se acumula para dar origem ao aquífero. Então, quando nós temos essa coincidência da natureza do aquífero com o minério de ferro, a gente tem uma opção, né? Ou a gente mantém os aquíferos, ou a gente vai destruir os aquíferos a partir do momento que a gente minera o ferro.
Vai destruir nossas terras, vai acabar com as nossas águas.
Tudo isso por ganância de alguns, ou promessas vazias de um falso progresso predatório, que é baseado na extração de recursos finitos e simplesmente irreparáveis. É necessário termos o bom senso e prezar para que as águas desse lugar sagrado se mantenham vivas e para que os povos sejam ouvidos e respeitados. Apelamos então para que se agreguem movimentos nacionais e internacionais anunciando a nossa vontade e escolha de preservação. Pedimos também aos acionistas dessas mineradoras que tenham consciência da gigantesca destruição e violência que estão incentivando. Em prol da proteção do cerro e das águas das quais dependemos para viver.
I hope you enjoyed that, and I will switch to Spanish now. Bienvenido, Danilo. Gracias por este documental tan impresionante que en realidad es una parte de un trabajo mucho más extenso. Empezar, sé que este es un resumen de un documental más largo en el que hablas con las personas afectadas, incluyendo comunidades autóctonas, y sé que también tiene relación con otros documentales tuyos, con, por ejemplo, Minas de Aguas. Háblanos un poco de este trabajo, por favor. Danilo, ¿nos puedes escuchar?
Ahora sim, estava desligado o microfone. Então, bueno, primeiro estou encantado, demasiadamente encantado de estar aqui e emocionado. Peço, incluso, perdona por isso, porque, bueno, são também lembranças, recuerdos que trago também de minha terra, de pessoais que perdi neste trajeto, incluso neste processo de pesquisa desse tema. E creio que hoje estou sentindo muito aqui, como se fosse uma presença, não sei, porque foi uma pessoa que é minha mulher que faleceu e ela me trouxe para esse caminho. E eu continuei, não? Com esse trajeto. Bueno, a questão da mineria em Minas é secular, não? Posso dizer que Minas é o coração do Brasil e onde empieza toda a história da colonização europeia, sobretudo de Portugal, não? E com a exploração do minério de ouro, né, a princípio, e as pedras preciosas. Incluso este sítio do Cerro, que está aí representado, junto com outras províncias ao entorno, como Diamantina, e aí esse sítio empieza todo o caminho da estrada real, né? Então, que já corria os minérios de aí até o litoral, no Rio de Janeiro e São Paulo, em Paraty, para explotar, né, o minério para a Europa. E ao longo dos séculos, a mineria foi ganhando perspectivas maiores, não? Incluso, principalmente no período desde a Revolução Industrial, né? Então, em Minas Gerais, em minha terra, ali bem cerca da minha cidade, Belo Horizonte, que é bem no centro, e ao entorno todo que está inserido no contexto geológico do quadrilátero ferrífero. E o quadrilátero ferrífero, podemos falar, os especialistas, os ambientalistas e pesquisadores preferem falar como um quadrilátero aquífero, porque onde está o hierro é onde está também a água em abundância, como uma grande carra d'água. Então, é o que tento colocar em Las Peles, que começou com Minas d'Água, né, esse processo de pesquisa e de conhecer esses temas e problemas e impactos que são generados em las comunidades, nos sítios, né? E então, o processo de mineria vem ganhando cada vez mais proporções maiores, não? Em escala industrial. Então, hoje, né, também há explotação de ouro, há muito, todavia, pero é uma mineração subterrânea que vai destruindo o barro todos os sítios, as regiões. E o hierro, que é o principal, né? Incluso o Brasil é um dos maiores produtores, explotadores de hierro, sobretudo em Minas Gerais e também em La Amazônia, em Carajás. E todo esse contexto geológico do quadrilátero ferrífero ou aquífero, já há mais de 200 minas a céu aberto. Então, são minas muito grandes, muito impactantes. São quilômetros e quilômetros de sierras que são completamente destruídas. E dentro dessas sierras todas está guardado a água mineral de primeira qualidade, a água mais limpa do mundo, porque não há sedimento algum, não é na água totalmente que a chuva cai por arriba de las sierras e infiltra e fica armazenado, né, no hierro. Então, para se explotar o hierro, se acaba com a água. E Minas, por esse contexto do quadrilátero, onde nascem rios muito importantes, que bacias que abastecem grandes rios do Brasil, né? Incluso o Rio Doce, o Rio São Francisco, que cita ali, e que o Rio Doce que foi totalmente morto com a explotação com a barragem, né, de Brumadinho e também de Mariana. Isso tudo impacta os rios ali e se acabou, não? Então, há alguns anos, há muitos anos, há 10 anos, eu trabalhava em São Paulo, umas grandes mega corporações de comunicação, publicidade do Brasil e do mundo também, algumas são internacionais, trabalhando para o mercado publicitário, para fazer propagandas de grandes, né, empresas que se diziam sustentáveis, se diziam que haciam ações, né, de sustentabilidade, pero não é bem assim, né? Sabemos que na verdade estão impactando muito e também incluso as minerias. Trabalhei e chegou em um ponto que fiquei assim tocado impactado com tudo isso e empecei a esses processos de terem a vontade a ser documentários e peles que pudessem abordar o outro aspecto, o outro olhar, né?
Muchas
E
gracias.
quando
Perdón.
voltei... ¿Ah?
Perdón, solo quería decir que este es un tema verdaderamente sensible y que sin duda hay un vínculo entre el patrimonio natural y cultural en Minas Gerais. Como cineasta eres un gran comunicador y la comunicación tiene un rol muy importante en la protección de nuestro patrimonio para poder generar conciencia. Quería preguntar si podrías compartir, por favor, en el chat más trabajos tuyos, dónde podemos ver tu portafolio, dónde podemos ver más películas tuyas.
¿Tienes ahí? ¿O quieres que yo compartilhe?
Si lo puedes compartir en el chat, lo agradeceríamos mucho.
Bueno, vou buscar agora, porque não tenho aqui pronto. O material que eu havia enviado era esse.
Muchas gracias, Danilo. Muito obrigada. I will have to switch now to English. I'm sorry to cut your intervention. I'm sorry, we still have another presenter and the time is short. So last but not least, I would like to introduce Silvia Canarozzi, an Italian director and screenwriter. In 2017, after working for the Italian broadcaster RAI as video editor, she moved to Berlin to attend film school. Since 2018, she has been active in Berlin directing and producing short films and music videos, and I am very honored to call her my friend. La Puglia e la morte sua, Puglia is to die for, was Silvia's first short film, and with a hint of humor, she celebrates intangible cultural heritage through the gastronomy of La Puglia. Let's watch it.
Caro diario, in millenni di attività prolifica, poche volte mi è accaduto di fare un'eccezione, ma se tu avessi uno stomaco e un palato fino come il mio, potresti capire. Avevo in lista questa ragazza, Aspasia De Nittis.
Ti dico che non è così. Siete tutti convinti che non so fare niente. Sì, certo, in un'altra vita. Mamma, senti, hanno suonato, devo andare. Desidera?
Sono qui per te, Aspasia.
Dato che ha suonato alla mia porta, lo immaginavo. Desidera?
Voglio la tua anima.
Ah, che problema c'è? Prego, si accomodi.
Di solito salto i convenevoli e arrivo subito al dunque.
Si vede che sua madre non le ha insegnato la buona educazione.
Ma io non ho mai avuto una madre.
Questo non giustifica la maleducazione. Si pulisca i piedi e chiuda la porta quando entra.
Per te ci vuole ancora un po'.
Ha detto qualcosa?
Sì, dicevo complimenti. È molto accogliente.
Faccia poco ruffiano e si sieda.
Non per essere scortese, ma ho una marea di cose da fare. Quindi, se potessimo darci una mossa...
Si sieda!
Se proprio insiste.
Io non ho mai fatto nessun viaggio a stomaco vuoto. Figurarsi se faccio il più importante senza che abbia potuto riassaporare i piatti che prediligo.
Sì, fai bene. Dove stiamo andando ti aspetta un'eternità in sapore.
La smette di fare così, o quanto è vero la morte, neanche lei torna a casa stasera.
Ma io sono immortale.
Questo è quello che crede lei.
Ma...
Lei non ha mai assaggiato la cucina tipica del Gargano? I suoi prodotti freschi?
Oh no, mia cara, io veramente sono...
Zitto! È buona educazione non interrompere una persona mentre sta parlando. Come stavo dicendo, caro, lei non ha mai assaggiato la cucina tipica del Gargano, vero? Quando ero solo una bambina, adoravo passare i pomeriggi in compagnia di mia nonna a cucinare. È lei che mi ha trasmesso l'amore per la cucina. In particolar modo per quella nostra, quella garganica. La semplicità di questo piatto, unita al gusto che ne deriva, ne fa uno dei prodigi della culinaria. Pane tradizionale bruschettato, con sopra un letto di pomodorini insaporiti all'aglio, un filo d'olio, ovviamente pugliese, e rucola. Assaggia. Allora? È o non è la bruschetta più buona che tu abbia mai mangiato?
Senza dubbio alcuno. Probabilmente verrò licenziato, ma ne vale davvero la pena. È un'orgia di sapori. Ogni minuto che passa sono 600 persone in meno che devo prendere.
Voilà! Insalata di mare, con olio, aglio e prezzemolo. Semplice, tenera e gustosa. Assaggia anche questo vino, l'ha fatto mio zio.
Ho capito. Mi toccherà fare gli straordinari.
Orecchiette al sugo di melanzane e melanzane ripiene. Orata al cartoccio. Però se tu lasci solo la parte più gialla del limone, risulta molto più dolce il limoncello. Desidera?
Buonasera. Cercavo Morte. Può chiamarmelo per cortesia?
Morte, appena finito di mangiare e non può uscire a giocare. Torni più tardi, caro.
Ma lei non sa chi sono io.
Ma neanche mi interessa.
E mai avrei creduto che in questo giorno fatale avrei perso il mio lavoro. Dio mi ha fatto riconsegnare gli strumenti del mestiere e per me oggi comincia una nuova vita, non più immortale, ma certamente più ricca di sapore.
Arrecamati e le lenzuole sono arrecamate, sono belli l'occhi tuoi e l'occhi tuoi belle sono le pronne d'arburelle e l'occhi tuoi vivace sono le pronne de vammace. Rapino belli, catavi da parlare e tava dicendo due parole e tiene la mente non le scorda. Tava dicendo due parole e tiene la mente non le scorda. Sono abbattenti, sono a chitarra mia, sono a chitarra mia, sono abbattenti, sono a chitarra mia, sono abbattenti. E sono abbattenti, sono a chitarra mia, sono abbattenti.
So this film was the winner of 3 Italian film festivals and was in the official selection of 24 international festivals. Silvia, how did you come up with this idea?
Thank you, Pamela. First of all, it's really a real honor to be here amongst these amazing hosts and guests. And the idea for the short film, I actually I feel a lot about this film because it was my very first short film. I never thought of being actually able to do to be a director and start doing my first short film. And so in 2013, I just took the courage, thanks to a web TV I was part of, and with friends, of course. There was no professional actors in this short film. We came up with the idea of celebrating Puglia gastronomy and the cuisine from my aunt, basically. And actually, all of the dishes that are portrayed in the film are from my childhood. My father was born in Peschici, a little town in Gargano, Puglia, and all my summers I spent there. And my aunt was the one that was providing the food every day, and she was showing us love through these amazing dishes. And it came quite natural for me to go to that place when I had to do a jump into filmmaking. It was my passion, and I really wanted to do something that was celebrating the love of my family, and I wanted to make my family proud, basically. So this was where the idea came from.
Thank you very much. The Mediterranean diet emphasizes the values of hospitality, neighborliness, intercultural dialogue, and creativity, and a way of life as well, guided by respect for diversity. In this sense, I would like to highlight also the strong social component of your films. We have also Farta, which is about privacy issues for children and our social networks. Für eine Nacht, which is your first film in German, it's about a different type of parenthood for a queer couple. So where can we see more of your work, Silvia?
Yeah, of course, I publish it. All of the work that is visible online is on my website. I can write you it's silviacanarozzi.com. Yes, as I grew as a director. I wanted to focus on social issues and to really keep talking about what I care, but also in a way that how do you say, people can relate to. So every time I choose a theme for a new short film, I just ask myself, what do I really care about, and what is that I know that can interest other people, and basically about the human experience. So, and the heritage is really something that inspires us every day. So yeah, my website, I can write it in the chat. I guess we are a little bit late, but I thank you a lot for giving me this opportunity.
Grazie, Silvia, sei bravissima. I would like to start wrapping up the session, but not before we acknowledge the true heritage heroes here. So voy a cambiar otra vez al español, así que quédense con nosotros. Tenemos preparada una pequeña sorpresa. Lucía, sí, te cedo la palabra.
Bueno, muchísimas gracias, Pamela. Bueno, primero, por supuesto, por esta sesión tan maravillosa, tan inspiradora. Realmente estoy muy emocionada. He aprendido mucho hoy. Y como les decía, por supuesto, de todo, pero tengo que destacar particularmente la participación de Sofía, de Maki y de Adolfo, que como les decía por ahí por el chat, cuando yo sea grande, quiero ser como ustedes. Así que para ustedes también, por supuesto también para Gloria y para Surval, que ha participado tan activamente, pero para Sofía, Adolfo y Maki particularmente tenemos una sorpresa voy a compartir la pantalla porque lamentablemente no estamos juntos en esta ocasión, pero queremos entregarles un diploma particularmente por haber participado tan activamente. Lo voy a compartir digitalmente. Bueno, y va con la formalidad del caso, voy a leer entonces, por medio de la presente, el equipo de sustentabilidad del Movimiento Mundial, Nuestro Patrimonio Mundial, agradece la participación de Maki Montalvo de la Garza como oradora en el Foro de Jóvenes, llevado a cabo el 31 de julio del 2021, en el marco de nuestro mes de debate de sustentabilidad y patrimonio. Como muestra de agradecimiento por su papel activo y compromiso hacia una gestión sustentable del patrimonio mundial, le otorgamos este diploma como guardiana del patrimonio. Gracias por cuidar nuestro patrimonio, Maki, y por ser realmente una inspiración para la nueva generación. Bueno, por una cuestión de tiempo solamente, no voy a leer, pero por supuesto, Sofía, también tenés tu diploma, y claro está, como no podía ser menos, y a ver si me acompaña la tecnología, disculpen allí. Adolfo Boeta Vázquez, también te hacemos entrega entonces de este diploma como guardián del patrimonio mundial y por supuesto mexicano. Gracias a ustedes y por supuesto este diploma va también para los grandes, seguramente para Sobin, para Silvia, para Gloria, para Prativa, todos tienen su diploma y agradezco profundamente una vez más por esta sesión a todos los que están participando, a todos los espectadores y a Pamela también por ser la organizadora de esta maravillosa sesión. Creo que cierra de la mejor manera nuestro mes de debate del equipo de sustentabilidad. Así que gracias a todos.
Muchas gracias, Lucía. Bueno, Sofía, muchas gracias por esa destreza en la comunicación y en la transmisión de conocimientos de y hacia las nuevas generaciones. Aquí, portavoz de la juventud y creadora de conciencia. Adolfo, tu pasión por la charrería y por mantener el patrimonio vivo. Todo esto queremos reconocer su labor y denominar los guardianes del patrimonio. Hace 600 años, decía el tlatoani y poeta Nezahualcóyotl, ¿en qué he de irme? Nada dejaré en pos de mí sobre la tierra, ¿cómo ha de actuar mi corazón? ¿Acaso en vano venimos a vivir aquí, a brotar sobre la tierra? Dejemos al menos flores, dejemos al menos cantos. En este poema quisiera denominar también guardián del patrimonio al Centro Educativo Surval, si me ayudas, Lucía, a compartir la pantalla, por su papel activo en la formación de niños y jóvenes comprometidos con el patrimonio y la sustentabilidad. Gracias, Gloria.
Te pido disculpas, Pamela, no lo tengo listo en este momento, pero
lo tengo yo aquí.
Gracias, Pamela. Se los vamos a hacer llegar a todos, por supuesto, también por correo electrónico.
Claro que sí. Bueno, pues muchísimas gracias, Miss Gloria, Miss Carmen, Aldire, Miss Miriam, Miss Aurora, por los recuerdos imborrables y por toda una vida sembrando flores y dejando cantos. Muchísimas gracias.
Gracias a ti, querida Pam. Muchas gracias. Si ya las películas y los videos que nos ofrecieron Danilo, Vero, en fin, me han dejado muy conmovida. Estas últimas palabras tuyas me llegan al alma. Muchas gracias, Pam. Gracias a todos los participantes en esta tarea que no se termina nunca. Gracias.
De todo corazón, gracias. Para terminar, well, I switch again to English. So thank you all for your support during the Sustainability Debate Month. Thanks to Centro Educativo Surval for your engagement in this movement, the International Association of World Heritage Professionals, to UNICEF, to Plantaseed, to TEU Empower Africa, your collaboration in and beyond the session. Thanks to our amazing team, Ege, Lucia, Ruben, Fiona, Luna, Radium, Juliana, Susan, Shafnam, Estefania, Virginia, Leo, Débora, Maike, Yapeng, Albino, Mued, Thanks also to our incredible translators, Marisa and Flor. Let me stop sharing my screen just for you to see all the people behind. And well, it has been an adventure and a pleasure to work with this wonderful family spread around the world. Thanks to our more than 140 contributors, our more than 50 case study proponents, our guest experts. Thanks also to our more than 2,100 viewers from all around the world. Month is done, but not the work. We still have our second round of case studies assessment. And in the meantime, I would like to hand the baton to the OWH Climate Change and Biodiversity team. Also, don't forget to follow us in our social networks and to participate in owhvoices.org. Thank you very much.
Yo, bravo.
Thank you.
Thank you very much all. Great job. Gracias,
Awesome.
Muet.
Thank you.
Fantastic.